Let me show you how you can use the railing tool to draw or to design the RAM very quickly, or even you can use this to define the roads. So for example, if I select this RAM which I have drawn, you can see it's a single object. Very quickly you can edit this, very flexible one. See, for example, if I want to just continue from here, I can click on the end. I can start putting the required distance directions, and this can be get completed very quickly without much efforts. You can adjust the heights the way you want. For example, this node, if you want to elevate, I can elevate this node, and then equivalently with the exact required height, say for example 750 mm, and you will see very quickly you will get the end products in front of you. So let me show you how you can do the settings and achieve this. What do you have to do? Very simple thing is just in the railing tool. Now this is the example I've just taken with the divider in between, it's a road divider, and the ramp is drawn, and the road is drawn, you can see. So what you have to do is in the railing setting, so just go inside the railing tool, and in the segment group you remove all the other options like top rail, handrail, rails, then baluster, panels, everything you discard. And then what you have to keep is a rail, one rail you have to add. The size of the rail I have taken over here is supposed to be 200 by 6000 mm. Rectangular, obviously the rail shape. Concrete, reinforced concrete structure was my building material. Okay, and its placement here you can change it instead of relative to absolute, make it 0, and then from there, so this becomes your road. Okay, so the rail which you have added, it becomes your road, and to add the divider, that is the inner post attribute. So you just click on the inner post, say add, and the size of the inner post you can check out. Of course, you can choose whatever is applicable, but I have taken the by default railing post, which is again a very simple one. The distance from the previous I have kept 500. Again here my inner post top offset with respect to absolute, I have kept it as a 20 mm, and segment bottom offset I have took that as a 90 mm for the inner post bottom offset. That is the gap from the bottom of my baseline to the inner post. Okay, and this again the setting wise, the inner post was designed for the same rectangle as a basic shape, 100 by 300. Okay, and both the other options, that is top ending, bottom ending, I have not changed anything right now. Building material I have to that as a plastic solid. Of course, you can override the surface if it is essential and make it compatible for your presentation purpose, whatever is essential. Okay. Once the designs are, all these settings are done, not forget, which is very important now I'm telling, when you come to the node, come to this node page, and here the post you have to compulsory select none. Otherwise, you will face a problem that on every turn you will get unwanted element in between. Connections you just check out for everywhere whatever is supposed to be. I have used the first option of disconnected. Okay, so again, this is not going to directly affect, but it is better. You should try to use disconnected for the tree, and for the rail it is okay because that is the rail which you are trying to use. Okay, and then at the ends use the top rail with a zero offset, handrail 1, handrail 2, and your rail again with the zero. Okay, so don't forget to adjust these three things. Rest you can keep on fine tuning again as per your choice. You are ready to draw the ramp or road as per your choice. Say for example, this was my start point, and maybe if I'm using this snapping feature, if you want, you can use it. Right? So this was my 12 meter. Then I have traveled approximately say 18 meters. Again, I have traveled approximately 14 meters and I have concluded my ramp program. So can you see how this is looking? So if you just select this and if you go back to 3D view, here it is supposed to be what you have designed. Now, what is the best part? You have drawn this very quickly. Now, if you want to elevate this, make a rounded corners on this, everything is possible. Say for example, if you are working over here in 3D view and you just want to click on the A node and you want to elevate this with the move node option towards the Z axis, say maybe 2 meters. This point you want to elevate by say 1 meter. This maybe with a 500 mm and so on. Now what is the problem? The joint. Don't worry. The moment you try to add the curves into this will look proper. Again remember while drafting what are the settings I have kept as a center justified. Reference line position was a center justified, not offsetted, but that depends on your comfort. Center justified was much better and convenient for me, so I have done that. Anyway, back to the floor plan. Here, now if you check out, okay, this is slightly changed. No worries, you can just again move this. But what you have to do is obviously move node and then you just drag it in the required direction and hold the shift key and make it aligned again. If you directly try to use the fillet on the node, this is not good. Say what will happen now if you use the fillet option with some proper radius and if you say okay, you'll get a wrong result. So you don't do this. Okay, instead of that, you can use a very simple option. Same fillet, but you go with the chamfer logic, leave the required distance, say okay, that is radius value, say okay. You will see you will get one node out over here. Select this, use the move option and just drag this for 6000 because that was my requirement. And then click on this particular reference line, use this option of tangential direction to make this segment into a curve segment, and you will see how this is now working. Okay, don't worry, again for this also you can get a proper end product. The moment you adjust the distances and all those things, you will get it. So same way here, I can use the fillet, chamfer, 6 meter. I'll say okay for this. I'll pick and I'll move this node maybe by 6 meters again. And here again clicking on this with the Mercedes cursor, getting the tangential direction option, you can see how this is working. Okay. Of course, you can then start pulling these nodes little ahead. So if you want, you can just pull this another 15 meters. And we'll see how this is working. And if you go back to the tree, you will be very much happy and surprised to see then this is really looking very nice and much better. Now the problem, just adjust the z-axis height to get the required effect. That's it, nothing much. But still it is very quick, and what I can see very helpful to achieve the required distances and the logic which you want to play. Say for example the gradient which you want to keep for the travel distance in 10:1 ratio. That means if I traveled at 10 meters, then my vertical distance traveled will be 1 meter. So according to that, you can start pulling up these things. Slightly here and there, if you want to adjust them for your design needs, you can do that. Say for example, if I don't want to have any kind of a gradient between start to end over here, I can just do that. Of course, sorry. So I just have to click on the node, just drag it vertically with the shift key, and I can just go and try to use it exact. Okay, so you can see how this is working. Okay, so I hope you have understood how to go for this. So this is how your divided line and everything is getting displayed just because of the settings which you have done, and that's fine. Of course, this do have some limitations, but I still feel that that's not a big issue for your basic designing till you don't complete your entire design process. I think this is much better to use this simple logic and define these things when your design is in the preliminary stage. Later, you can then take the benefit of any other tools where you want to fine tune this for as per the actual constructed elements. But still, I feel that this works really nice and accurate. Hope you will enjoy this.